My name's Scotty, and I am the Original Binger. Today I'm here to talk about what the fuck just happened on Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 3, The Queen's Justice. I'm going to be talking in depth about this episode, so warning, there are spoilers ahead. Just a reminder, I do these recaps every week. I also do other TV reviews. If this is something you might be interested in, please consider subscribing. Once again, we start on Dragonstone. Jon and Davos have just arrived and are greeted by Tyrion, Missandei, and a bunch of surly Dothraki. After some brief introductions, they are escorted to the throne room. Along the way, Davos flirts with Missandei, and he and Jon get their first look at the dragons, and possibly shit their pants. On top of a hill, watching all this, Melisandre and Varys have a cryptic conversation in which Melisandre suggests that not only does she know how she will die, she also knows how Varys will meet his end. Finally, we get to the throne room. After introductions are made, Dany gives a brief history lesson before asking Jon to bend the knee. Jon says, "Yeah, that's not going to happen." This pisses Dany right the fuck off. Jon tries to explain about the White Walkers and the Army of the Dead, but this just sends Dany into a rant about how the only thing she believes in is herself. Davos tries to explain why she should believe in Jon, and this does not seem to impress her much. At this point, Varys shows up with the news of the loss of Yara and the Sands, which breaks up the meeting for now. I have to say, I love this scene. In most shows, after a scene like this, these two would either be fast friends or bitter enemies. But here, we still don't know. They're still trying to fill each other out. Emilia Clarke and Kit Harington do a fantastic job of portraying the tension between these two. But the standout performance for me in this scene is Liam Cunningham as Davos. He delivers some great lines, and you really feel he has Jon's back. Next, we see what's left of Yara's fleet, fishing Theon out of the sea. They still seem to feel he's a useless twat. After that, we come to Euron's victory lap, where he parades Yara and the Sands through the streets of King's Landing. What the fuck is wrong with the people of King's Landing? Look at these assholes cheering. It's like they don't care who gets dragged through the streets. They just want to throw produce and yell whore at people. This is why King Robert bankrupted the realm, throwing all these tournaments. These assholes need some entertainment or they'll turn on you. Eventually, the train makes its way into the Red Keep, where Cersei sits patiently waiting for her gift. Cersei is quite pleased with her gift, yet less pleased when she agrees to reward Euron with marriage after the war is over. I'm not sure why Euron is so happy here. He can't possibly be stupid enough to believe she'll actually marry him. It must be the opportunity to take more shots at Jaime. Now that the Queen has opened her gifts, it's time to play with it. Cersei is damn near euphoric as she toys with Ellaria and Tyene. The Queen savors every minute of her reveal of the Sand's fate. This scene was so fucking good. Both Ellaria and Cersei gave wonderful performances here. And Ellaria had a gag in her mouth the whole time and couldn't speak, so all her acting was done with her face. And you felt the fucking pain and anguish that she was going through as she realized that she was going to have to watch her daughter not only die, but rot. And Lena Headey just went through so many different emotions in this scene. The heartbreak of recalling her daughter's death. Then the pure joy of returning the favor to Ellaria. This is definitely one of my favorite scenes in the entire episode. Torturing her enemies leaves Cersei feeling a little randy. Jaime tries to play hard to get, but gives in when he remembers he wants to try that finger in the bum thing Euron was talking about. After a quick shower, Cersei has a meeting with a representative from the Iron Bank, in which some heavy hints are dropped about how this episode will end. Back over on Dragonstone, Jon is staring off a cliff brooding, when Tyrion shows up wearing his diplomat hat in an attempt to find a way to reopen the peace talks between ice and fire. After a successful dialogue with Jon, Tyrion has a conference with his queen, where he lets her know what she needs to do if she's still interested in an alliance with the North. Thanks to the hand's refined negotiating skills, Dany agrees to let Jon mine the dragon glass for which he came to Dragonstone. While a good first step, these two still have a long way to go before they trust each other. At Winterfell, Sansa is doing a fine job of running things, despite the fact that the new maester doesn't seem to have his shit together. Once again, Littlefinger gives some unsolicited advice. He tells Sansa not to have a narrow focus, but to prepare for all possible threats. It's like he was too busy checking out her ass a few minutes ago. He didn't hear her say they needed to be prepared no matter what direction the threat came from. The lesson is interrupted when Sansa is summoned to the gate for a reunion, just not the reunion we were expecting. Bran has returned to Winterfell after apparently going through the Vulcan ritual Kholinar and removing all emotion. Later, during a private moment, Bran tries to explain the power he has as the Three-Eyed Raven, but Sansa freaks out when he tells her he knows all about her honeymoon. Meanwhile, over at the Citadel, Jorah gets the diagnosis he was hoping for. Sam and Jorah try to pretend they have no idea how the Greyscale was cured, but the Archmaester ain't buying that shit. That evening, in the Archmaester's chamber, Sam confesses to using the Forbidden Cure, after which he is both chastised and complimented. Then he is given the task of recopying a pile of rotting scrolls. Sam seems to take this as a punishment, but I think the Archmaester knows that those scrolls may hold the information about the White Walkers that Sam has been looking for. Finally, we get to the attack on Castle Rock. The gate and the walls appear to be impossible to penetrate. However, Tyrion gave Grey Worm directions to the secret Whore's entrance. Once inside, the Unsullied make short work of the Lannister army. When he notices that there are far fewer Lannister troops than expected, Grey Worm begins to suspect they may have been duped. The suspicion is confirmed when he sees the Greyjoy fleet destroying the ride home. So where's the rest of the Lannister army? Those incest-ridden bastards are marching on Highgarden, as it was hinted at in Cersei's meeting with the Iron Bank. After annihilating the Tyrell forces, Jaime strolls in for a chat with the Queen of Thorns. She calls his son a cunt, tells him his sister is a disease, then Lady Olenna shotguns the poisoned wine he gave her and confesses to the murder of Joffrey. The episode ends with a stunned Jaime walking out. Filled with great dialogue and wonderful performances, I'd say this is the best episode of the season so far. Now, after the episode, I saw a lot of theories pop up, and there's a couple I'd like to address. One is that Varys is a traitor, and this is because so far all of Dany's plans have backfired. But it doesn't necessarily mean there's a traitor in the ranks. The thing with Euron attacking Yara, everybody knew Dany was at Dragonstone. All he had to do was wait for Yara's fleet to leave and follow him until it was dark and attack. No need for a spy there. As for what happened at Castle Rock, Tyrion was working with outdated information. He didn't know that the gold mines of Castle Rock had gone dry. But Cersei did. So she knew that it was likely that Tyrion would attack Castle Rock, thinking that's where the money was coming from. So it only made sense for her to pull her soldiers out of there and send them to where the money was, in Highgarden. So again, no need for a spy to fuck that shit up. The next theory comes from a YouTube channel known as The Binge Zone. This guy seems to have an unhealthy infatuation with Cersei. I don't mean unhealthy in liking the character. I love the character Cersei. I think she's great. I think Lena Headey does a wonderful job portraying her. I just don't think she would ever make a very good queen, and I can't possibly imagine why anybody would think that. But this guy does. And his theory is that Tyrion will betray Dany to Cersei to get Castle Rock, which makes no sense. And he points out a couple of things that he says help bolster this theory. One is the fact that Tyrion went after Castle Rock. Like I said before, he doesn't know that the gold mines have run dry there, so it made perfect sense to go after Castle Rock because you want to cut off your enemy's money. His second point was, well, we saw when Theon in Season 1 swore fealty to Robb, he later betrayed him. And now that we've seen Tyrion swear fealty to Dany, that it's only a matter of time before he does. This doesn't make sense either because it was well established before Theon betrayed Robb that he was a Weasley little dick. So, Binge Zone guy, I love your videos, but I think you got it wrong on this one. What do you think of these theories? And do you have any theories of your own? Let me know in the comments. Once again, I do these recap videos every week. Also, I do other TV show reviews. So if those are things you might be interested in, I'd appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. Also, if you liked this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead and hit the thumbs down, but please leave me a comment and let me know what I can do to improve my channel. As always, thanks for watching.